lieber Sandmann, es ist noch nicht so weit.
I am bored. What should I do?
Ah, ich weiß.
Get Germanized.
Okay. Hallo und willkommen, ich bin Meister Lenz and you're watching Get Germanized, Car of Thoughts, growing up in Germany in the 80s or also 90s.
Yeah.
Hey, today I'm here with my good friend VlogDave. First time I have a guest on this show, basically, on my little series. I'm gonna drive around and talk about what it was like to grow up in Germany in the 80s, 90s, and excuse the weather today, but that's basically Germany in its nutshell, in its true form, right? That's its final form, basically, of Germany. Shit weather. I hope you don't mind. I mean, it's interesting to see, I think, as well, you know, not only the sunny sides and the nice sides. And yeah, what should we get started with? Dave has the plan there.
I have the plan, yeah. Well, let's begin with our birth dates.
The birth dates, yeah, well, just to give you a perspective on, well, how old we are. I was born on the 31st of October 1986, so I'm 31 years old. And Dave?
That's a long time ago, actually.
Mm-hmm, yeah. Long time ago.
I was born on July 13th in 1991, so I'm 5 years younger than him.
Basically a baby. That's what he still is. And well, that gives us the opportunity to talk about different eras, a little bit at least, like different time periods of growing up in Germany. Slightly different, at least.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm super old.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, what's the first point we said there?
Well, it's actually a thing, or like a word you should know as well. It's about the kindergarten. Kindergarten.
You want to start giving off your experience from the kindergarten in Germany?
The children garden.
Yeah. Basically.
Well, that was a fun time, actually. I was in the kindergarten from 95 to 97, I think. And yeah, I mean, that was an era in which we didn't have like smartphones, obviously, and all the super cool, fancy, technical things. We just played with board games and like different stuff. Klötzchenspiele, for instance.
In the kindergarten?
Yeah, the kindergarten, like cube-based games and shape.
Cube-based games.
How should I put it? I don't know.
I know what you mean. Like you stack the cubes.
Yeah, pretty much like building, playing with Lego. For instance, Lego is really cool.
We had Lego.
Duplo, Playmobil.
Duplo and Playmobil was too easy for me. I never played with that basic bitch stuff.
Yeah.
No, it's basically for the people, I think, that don't want to build stuff before playing with it.
Yeah, we always said like Duplo is for the stupid people and Lego is for the smart ones.
Well, I mean, I would say that because I played with Lego as well, but
yeah,
not saying that everyone who played with Duplo is stupid, obviously.
No,
never. Never would we say that.
Yeah.
But yeah, my time in the kindergarten, well, we played superhero a lot. Okay. Which is basically, well, we pretended to be superheroes. I pretended to be Iceman, Spider-Man, and all that kind of stuff. It probably looked really stupid, what kids do, basically. Running around, hey, I'm Spider-Man. You know, how does he do it? Like this, right? And yeah, Iceman, like, surfing on the meadow, pretending that it's ice. I don't know, it probably looked very silly. Well, how kids do it, basically. Yeah. In this silly way. And also we collected these little Glitzersteine, these little glistening stones, or sparkle stones. It was basically tar stones, little black tar stones. Okay. That were spread around the kindergarten grounds for whatever reason. And we collected them in little jars and stuff like that. Yeah. That's something we did outside. Obviously we had swings, we had a slide and all of that kind of stuff, basic stuff.
I was about to say we played with little balls a lot, but...
You played with your own little balls.
No, but we played with Murmeln a lot. Like
marbles.
This marbles. Glass orbs. So to speak.
Glass orbs.
Glass orbs.
Sounds way more fancy.
It's like a very typical thing in Germany, actually. And flummies.
Flummies, yeah, well, isn't that the same? Rubber? No, that's bouncy balls, I guess.
Bouncy balls.
Bouncy balls.
Okay.
I think that's what they're called in English. I'm not sure though.
Bouncy balls.
Well, those balls that come back up if you bounce them down, made of rubber.
We've built like little parkours and all that stuff for them. Like, and we also played a lot outside. That was really, really cool as well.
Yeah. Yeah, but kindergarten was a good time. I remember like having songs all the time as well, where we were sitting in a circle on either chairs or on the ground, and like duck, 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 goose and stuff like that. That game basically, I think they have that in America too. And what else did we do? We Vogelhochzeit was a song, like bird marriage was one of the songs. I don't know. And I always remember that we all had to go and brush our teeth, and they were like supervising it so that we would really brush our teeth and stuff like that. It was really, really funny.
We also cooked a lot and like baked things and all that stuff, like cakes and...
baking, I'm not sure.
Different dishes.
You did, really?
Yeah, we did. We had like our own little kitchen in the first floor, and that was really, really cool.
I think we had a kitchen, but I don't remember if we did anything with it or if they just cooked us food.
And they even had a little gym in the basement.
Oh yeah, we also had a gym. I remember now. I think at least that we did like sportive activities, like games, basically most of the time. Little games that we did. That was cool. And yeah, oh wow, slidey. This road is basically like a one-way street. Yeah. And well, that's how it goes here.
There are quite a lot of them in Germany, actually.
Yeah. So
countryside.
In case you're wondering. Yeah. But yeah, what else? Kindergarten. That's basically it. I think. How long did it go for usually? From in the morning until when was it? I don't remember. 8 till 3 or
I was
4
actually, like a couple of years ago when I still went to school, I actually was a volunteer.
Yeah.
And I had to go to the kindergarten for like 2 weeks and to like play with kids there and all that stuff. It was a fun experience, by the way. And
I did the same.
And it was like, I think from 8 AM to noon.
8 AM till noon?
Yep.
Okay.
Like 4 hours.
So that the parents could basically have half a day off.
Yeah, but I think nowadays it's very different. Nowadays you have like these Ganztags, like whole day kindergarten, whole day schools.
Yeah, that's definitely changed now. Also, what we did in kindergarten was like these Bastelarbeiten, like these things. How do you say that in English? Like we crafted a lot, I guess. Like we had to draw out the colors and stuff, and then like picture books, coloring books, and we had to cut out shapes with like these safe scissors, basically. So you weren't allowed to use real scissors in school, I don't think.
We actually worked a lot with papier-mâché.
What's it called?
Which is
papier-mâché. Well, I don't know, but this
cartonnage,
cardboard stuff.
Yeah. A lot of glue.
A lot of glue.
I remember that. Yeah.
Smell all the glue.
Sniffing the glue.
Yeah.
Like a pro.
Drugs in German kindergartens.
German glue, yeah.
German glue.
That was fun. Yeah, we actually did a lot of creative things, which I really liked, and I think that also sparked like my interest in that.
And drugs.
and drugs, yeah, like creative. No.
Don't do drugs, kids. Going on to the elementary school, obviously afterwards. Well, that wasn't as fun. Obviously, it was more school work. But we did still a lot of like crafting and stuff, I remember, in some classes at least, and well, basic stuff. I mean, everyone knows what elementary school is like. Like we have something called preschool. I think for kids who might need more time to adapt from kindergarten to normal school life, they have like preschool. I never went to that though, I don't think.
No.
And then you go to first class until 4th class, and then you basically change into the new school forms like Realschule, like middle school or whatever that is.
That is true, but that also it also depends in which German state you live, because there are different rules for that. Yeah. I think like wasn't it in Berlin? Like I think in Berlin you have like you're in elementary school from the 1st class up to the 6th. And yeah, in North Rhine-Westphalia, where I'm living, it's like from the 1st to the 4th.
Okay.
So yeah, and then you like either go to the Hauptschule, which is the most basic form.
Did they change that at any point?
No, I mean there is like this new type of school, I think. Is it what is it? What's it called? I don't know.
Secondary? I don't know.
Yeah. But that was after I went there, so
okay.
I really liked elementary school. I think I've always been a very curious person, a very curious pupil.
You don't say.
I do. And well, I think I was a bit lucky because I had really good teachers that really cared about their students and pupils and whatnot. So and they made very creative things. Like for instance, I remember that our main teacher actually read like many cool stories with us, and then we talked about them in class and like analyzed them a little bit.
Okay.
So yeah, that was really fun. It was a cool time overall, I think. We also like went to some German zoos, for instance. And, like,
little trips,
day trips.
I think these days they even have a kindergarten completely in the woods, in the forest.
Yeah.
Like a Waldkindergarten, like a forest kindergarten basically, where they teach kids about nature and the birds and the animals that they find there and stuff like that. Really cool, and get them more in touch with nature again, because these days obviously all kids do is hang in front of their TVs. I mean, back in the day I did the same thing, but which is a good transition.
Yeah.
To our next topic.
True.
Which is the TV shows we watched back then in the 80s and 90s. Lots of good TV shows.
Yeah.
I remember. Maybe I'll start because mine are a bit older.
Yep.
And then you can always say, hey, I know that show as well.
I don't know that one.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm too young.
Well, my favorite shows back then were definitely like Darkwing Duck, a Disney show that many of you guys probably know. Really cool. I think it was called what did I say? Not Danger Duck. It was also called Darkwing Duck, probably in English. Makes sense, right? Yeah. But the song, the title, the theme song was different, I think.
Darkwing Duck.
Yeah, but it was not 2-1 Risiko, like 2-1 Risk. It was something else, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was in English though. But that was a great show. Also, what else? Mega Man was one of the other shows that I always watched.
Yeah.
That I liked to watch a lot.
Was it like based on the games, or was it like something completely?
Mega Man, yeah, it was based on the games. I think it had like the same characters. The dog. What's the dog's name again?
I don't know.
I forgot.
Never seen it.
I mean, you could know from games if you played them.
No.
Ah, okay.
I only know
yeah, I never really played them, but the show was great. Well, Mega Man could steal the enemy's abilities and stuff by touching them and stuff like that. And, yeah, all of that kind of stuff. So that was definitely interesting. That show was cool. Also, what else? Well, when I was really young, I watched like Lila Launebär, which is like a show with, I don't know if the guy that did the show was a comedian back in the day, or if he I think he was just a TV host. His name was Matty, I think, his show name, Matty, and the bear, the puppet, was the Lila Launebär, right? And that was always really cute. I don't really remember what was going on in the show, but I remember that I watched it. Also remember watching a couple of times Schloss Siebenstein or something like that, or
yeah.
No, wait, that was the show where they were really at the castle, right?
I think so.
What I mean is this other show where they had this raven puppet and the suitcase puppet that could talk. You know that?
Yeah.
I don't know the name of that. Maybe our viewers know, but
yeah.
That was a show I really liked for some reason, because of the puppets, I think, because it was cute. Also Animaniacs, Looney Tunes, Tiny Tunes I really liked. What else? Captain Baloo.
Oh yeah.
Tailspin in English, and we looked that up beforehand. Yeah, it was really interesting. All the Disney shows were great, like Rescue Rangers, Die Rettungstruppe in German was cool. I don't know, shows I didn't really watch were Red and Stimpy or something, like the Cartoon Network shows, because they were too weird for me as a kid. I was a bit scared of Red and Stimpy, because I always remember that one episode where they vanished, or he was sucked in by his own belly button. in that one episode.
Sounds like Rick and Morty, almost.
Yeah, and I mean nowadays it would be a different story, obviously. But as a kid, I was like, oh, it's weird. What is that?
I'm a pickle.
But on the other hand, I watched Beetlejuice, the TV show as well and stuff. But maybe when I was a bit older, like a teenager, I don't know, like 12, 13 years old, something like that. That was a cool show. Have you ever seen Beetlejuice, the cartoon?
I don't think so.
All the movies?
I don't think so.
But they're both really good. What else was new? I mean, I remember Silverhawks or something, or
yeah,
like these superheroes that flew through space looking like, well, Silverhawks, I don't know, like super machines maybe even, I don't remember. Or Mask, the show, Mask! And then there were like different superheroes, similar to the Avengers or something, I would say.
Yeah.
Something like that. I don't know, so many good shows. What were some shows that were iconic to your childhood? Or Gargoyles were a good Disney show as well.
Yeah, almost forgot about that one.
Or Extreme Dinosaurs. Extreme Dinosaurs! That's so funny.
Yeah, talking about dinosaurs, actually, the dinos.
Oh yes, the dinos.
I don't know if it's just like the dinos.
The dinosaurs. Nicht die Mama, Papa.
Oh, they're so iconic.
Not
that
the mom.
So awesome. Still one of my favorite series of all time.
It was basically a show completely made with puppets.
Yeah.
Right? Like real puppets, like life-size, not life-size dinosaurs, but like big ass puppets probably.
And what did Earl say when he came back home?
No, I'm home, who else? Or something like that, right?
Yeah.
So that was great.
It was so cool. I always watch that with my family, like in the evening.
Yeah.
That was really cool. And like one of the most iconic ones is definitely Captain Baloo und seine tollkühne Crew.
Yeah,
Tailspin.
Yeah.
Because I've always watched that after I came home from elementary school.
Actually, I did the same with Scooby-Doo on Sunday and Saturday mornings. It came, I think, on TV. Yeah, Scooby-Doo is another show I really loved.
Have you seen the Tex Avery show?
Tex Avery show, yeah. I did, but that was also a bit with the Pompeii dude and stuff like that. That was a bit too weird sometimes for me. I didn't watch that too often, I don't think.
I think that's a very, like the next one I'm gonna mention is a very typical German thing. I think it's Die Sendung mit der Maus.
Oh yeah. I watched that a couple of times, or Sesame Street or something. But Die Sendung mit der Maus is iconically German. I think the show with the mouse basically. It's a little blue elephant and an orange mouse. And they had little cartoons, and in the show I think they had real life documentary thingies going on, like teaching kids about stuff like how to make bread or something like that.
And it's still running actually.
Oh nice.
Yeah, like since like 20 some years, like it's ridiculous.
Something our viewers probably remember as well is the Sandman, the Sandman.
Yo, Enter Sandman.
And Enter Sandman. Basically a little puppet show where the Sandman came to the kids' house and poured like sleeping sand in their eyes, and they went to sleep, and then there was a little story, like a little cartoon or something like that. And there was 2 versions of the Sandman. One for the GDR.
Yeah.
They had a different Sandman, and the West had their own Sandman show as well. It was so funny.
Strange.
Yeah. So to compete with each other. But I think the one from the East, the GDR one, was more popular even in the West as well.
Yeah.
From what I've seen. I mean, always watch that.
Lieber Sandmann, es ist noch nicht so weit.
Exactly, that's all I can remember as well. But yeah, it was a cool show, I like that.
Definitely.
Löwenzahn, yeah, with Peter Lustig.
Oh yeah.
He hated children. No, he didn't. I know he did.
Yeah.
But that was a stereotype. Like the host of the show was supposed to hate kids. I don't know who came up with that.
That was like a reporter, like an interviewer.
Oh really?
At some point, and he miscredited that or like misread that. And,
okay.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Well, but what happened in the show? Maybe you can tell us.
Well, it was basically like, well, like not like a soap show, but it was like a real life show, and he lived in a van almost, like in a self-made van.
In a trailer, I think.
Trailer, yeah.
Something like that.
And he actually, well, there were different things happening to him in his everyday life, and he met people, and he also explained stuff.
Like an educational show, basically.
Yeah. but also very humorous.
Yeah.
Very cool. I've loved watching that. That was really cool. Unfortunately, he passed away, I think, like 2 years ago.
But he's definitely an icon, like for many people growing up in the 80s and 90s, I think.
And that was really cool, like because I think even my parents grew up on that. Like,
really?
Yeah, because I think it's running. It began in the 70s even.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was a long-term show.
Oh, do you know this art show, Art Attack, that came on Super RTL? I think it's an American show, but we definitely had that on German TV as well, the German version. They translated that, and basically, well, it's what the name says. They made art, or he showed how to make simple art stuff, like craft stuff, so that the kids could reproduce it, I think.
True. Not to be confused with Minecraft nowadays.
No, that's different.
That was real craft.
Yeah, we had Lego back then.
Yeah.
I mean, we still have Lego nowadays, obviously, but people...
The Super Toy Club, actually.
Yeah. Oh, was it even called Super Toy Club in English?
I think so.
Was it the one where they did different games, and then at the end they could fill up like a shopping cart?
The winning team, yeah.
The winning team could go to like shelves and fill up the shopping carts with like prizes.
Yeah,
and keep
like they went with wagon through Toys R Us.
Yeah.
And then they could like load everything in and what they actually could keep on their parkour through the shop, through the store. They could keep that for free.
But I think they had to be back in time at the register.
Yeah, they had a time limit.
Yeah, they had a time limit, and everything that was past the register after the time limit they could keep. So that is like a dream come true for kids, obviously.
I was so jealous back then.
Yeah, same. It was really cool.
Yeah.
And I think they stole that though, the concept from American shows. Like I think they did that there a lot as well.
Yeah.
So that was cool. There's so much we could talk about when it comes to shows.
Winnie
the Pooh, basically. We had that. Winnie der Scheiße. I didn't really watch that, to be honest, not often. With Christopher Robin and Tigger. I mean, it was a super cute show. Yeah, it was. But I think I was a bit too old when I watched it. Same with Teletubbies. I never watched that.
I have to admit, I watched that.
The Teletubbies. What a mind-bending, brainwashing show. Yeah. And also never watched SpongeBob, really.
A little bit.
Okay. There was a big...
Best German road ever.
Yeah. I did not expect that. The road just basically became complete shit. I'm surprised that my cameras are still on point there. That's interesting. Yep, that was a big hole in the road.
Would be a great scene, yeah.
My phone just fell off basically from the left there.
Yeah, both like with the shocked expression.
Yeah, what happened? Anyway, SpongeBob, never watched that. Teletubbies, never watched it. You watched Teletubbies, okay?
Yeah, a little bit.
Interesting.
With the infamous vacuum cleaner.
Oh yeah, this weird vacuum cleaner puppet that they had there.
I think it could even talk, yeah.
That was strange. Now I lost my train of thought a little bit after this incident here.
I also watched something... Oh, I can't remember the English name. I just read it a few days ago because I actually rewatched a couple of episodes of that show on YouTube, which is in German is X Factor das Unfassbare.
Oh yeah, with Jonathan Frakes.
Jonathan Frakes.
That was awesome.
This like mystery series. I love that. I think I actually watched every single episode of that.
It was really cool. An American show, obviously, but dubbed in German. And we basically dub everything here.
Yeah.
Also shows like that I introduced you to today, Married with Children.
Yeah.
That was really fun for me, at least in the...
You watched Al Bundy.
Al Bundy back in the day. Yep. And this, I think, the show that came after the 11 seasons of Married with Children was Unhappily Ever After of Schlimmer und Ewig in German.
Yeah.
That was basically a similar show with similar concepts, similar characters, just that the Al Bundy dude in that show had like a puppet to talk to. He was like a bit crazy, and he was talking to this dark humored puppet, which is probably his inner desires come true in a puppet.
Yep.
Basically like that.
I also have to say that I watched Hinter Gittern der Frauenknast.
Oh god, no.
Yeah.
It's like a show about, what was it?
Like behind bars, the women prison. It's like the literal...
Sounds like a porn movie, to be honest.
It does.
It does.
It's like the literal translation. Yeah, it is pretty much about that. Like, no, not a porn. Like a reality TV kind of show with like women imprisoned, and they like had
still porn.
They had little fights and all that kind of stuff, like with the guards. So
okay, so it's still like porn.
Well, it was a pretty cool show actually.
Yeah,
yeah, it was.
Was it like? So it was scripted. Right?
It was scripted. Yeah, it wasn't a real a reality TV show in that sense, but yeah.
Yeah, that is interesting. For sure.
Yeah, it was.
So many shows. Like, I think this whole episode so far has been about kindergarten and shows.
Yeah.
But maybe we'll make 2 parts out of this.
Yeah.
So that in the next episode we talk about more stuff from the 80s and 90s. But for now, this is a topic that you're gonna have to deal with.
Yeah.
One that I thought of was Captain Z and the Traumpatrouille, the Dream Patrol. Captain Z and the Dream Patrol basically was a cartoon with kids in their dreams. They joined this combined dream world basically, where Captain Z was like the superhero, and he took them on adventures, and they fought off nightmares and stuff like that. That was really cool. I really liked that. Also, Captain Nintendo, he had like this little Super Nintendo gun or something like that. And he was it was a show about the world of Nintendo. Okay. He was sucked in from the real world into this cartoon world. Everything after was cartoon based. It was a really cool show.
Oh yeah.
I really liked that actually.
Yeah. A very obvious choice actually is Dragon Ball.
Dragon Ball Z,
like
yeah. Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, Pokemon. Yeah, that was great. We watched that for sure.
I also really enjoyed Detective Conan.
Detective Conan was fun, yeah.
That was really cool.
I watched it. It's still good anime, like, yeah. It has a good storyline.
That was actually like, I think that was the first anime that I was really into back in the day.
Conan?
Yeah. Without knowing that it was like called anime, because I didn't know about different genres and different kind of stuff back then. I just watched what I liked, so...
As you do, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe that should be it for shows, because we talked about it a long time. Maybe movies now?
Yeah.
Movies that we grew up with. I grew up with, well, Ghostbusters, Back to the Future, what else?
I haven't seen both.
Yeah, Indiana Jones.
I haven't seen that either yet. I know it's pretty sad, but...
Star Wars, Lord of the Rings was big when I grew up.
One of my favorite ones, still to this day, is Hercules.
Hercules is a great movie. I enjoyed that a lot as well.
And Mulan.
Yeah, Mulan was fantastic as well. Like all the Disney movies, like really good.
Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah. Or even the Treasure Planet movie, the sci-fi movie I liked, or The Road to El Dorado or something. Ein Königreich für ein Lama, I think it was called.
Yeah.
Kingdom for Lama, we called it. Yeah. So that was nice. So many movies to choose from, really, when it comes to 80s and 90s movie. Beetlejuice, big fan of Beetlejuice. I liked horror back then already, and that was like a mix, I'd say, out of horror and comedy. Yeah. Or Nightmare Before Christmas, I watched at some point. Like, it might happen that we mention movies that maybe weren't released in the 80s or 90s, right? But that's what I remember.
2000s,
yeah, that's what I remember from my childhood, at least. So I was still a kid, basically, at that point, or very young.
I mean, we could also like make another episode at some point about like movies that we've watched in our teens, or like stuff like that. More like horror-based stuff.
Yeah.
Thrillers. Yeah. Well. Yeah, definitely Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings. Those were like the 2 big movie series that I fell in love with.
Or Jumanji. I love Jumanji. They just re-released it basically, or made a new one, a prequel.
Oh,
a sequel. Sorry.
You remember the Grinch?
The Grinch, yeah. Or all those Christmas movies with what's his face, Chevy Chase.
Yeah.
They were really popular when I grew up. My parents liked that. Or Mr. Bean.
Oh, Mr. Bean. Oh,
Mr. Bean,
love Mr. Bean.
That was great.
So cool. Rowan Atkinson.
Or German comedian Otto.
Otto, yeah.
Had a good show, like Otti Fanten, the comic strip show, or movies as well.
Otto is actually like a huge part of my childhood as well, because I tend to listen to Otto's stories and his jokes on vinyl, actually, back in the day.
Really? On vinyl?
On vinyl, like the classy style.
Nice. Oh, fancy Dave.
Oh yeah, fancy that.
We're driving through a marshland at the moment, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
You could call it a swamp. As you can see on the right there, it looks kind of like Lord of the Rings style
Pretty
from
cool.
that one
Yeah, I like that.
scene there. Just for your information. But yeah.
This one movie with Robin Williams, Flubber.
Flubber.
That was really cool.
That was cool.
Like that a lot.
I mean, I love most Robin Williams movies. They're really good.
Yep.
And I grew up with those as well. Patch Adams, the doctor movie, even though that was sad when he went to the children's hospice, I think, or hospital.
Yeah.
And stuff. Or Dead Poets Society was really cool, the movie. Club der Toten Dichter.
I also remember, like, kind of vividly, I was at my aunt's and my uncle's place, and they actually, like, I had to sleep over there because my parents were on a party or something.
Yeah.
At a party, and they actually watched like a horror movie, I think it was, like with like a spider type of monster. And that really creeped the F out of me.
I bet.
And still to this day, I don't know which movie that was, but it was like, was in my childhood, and
Well, I watched it and was terrified of sewers for the next years, and not of clowns for some reason, more like sewers.
Okay,
I didn't want to walk past like the sewer opening or anything like that. I was like, it is going to come and get me.
But I think like the good thing about like the It situation is that the sewers, or like the sewer entrances, are like kind of different in Germany.
Yeah, they're not open.
They're not open like that, and they can't really pull you in that easily. So.
Yeah, true. When you said horror, I remembered a show, even though we had movies, doesn't really matter, I don't think, that I watched, Tales from the Crypt. I think many people might know that show as well. It's an American show probably. Geschichten aus der Gruft.
Yeah.
It's a really nice show. I mean, most of you will know it, where they talk about eerie and creepy stuff. Same with Goosebumps, the show Gänsehaut in German it's called. That was more a book series though, I think, more than it was a TV series. I think they had a TV series as well, or a movie even. Goosebumps. I think there's a movie nowadays with Jack Black. For Goosebumps.
Okay.
Yeah. So that was great. I liked that. But yeah, anyway, movies. That was movies. And maybe you guys have more when it comes to movies. Next point.
Games.
Games. Video games or board games. Everything counts. Everything goes. Favorite video games I remember from growing up was Terranigma, Secret of Mana, Secret of Evermore, Lufia, Illusion of Time, Super Mario I played like on the SNES, or Zelda Link to the Past. All of those kind of games were really popular when I grew up. Or Super Mario Kart, obviously, on the SNES. Like, I was never a PlayStation guy, Dave. Dave was more like a PlayStation guy. I never had one, so I missed out on games that Dave liked. But I was always a Nintendo guy, basically. Or in the really early childhood, my older brother would play games like on the Amiga computer, like a karate game. It was. I don't remember what the name was. But
IK Plus,
maybe
IK Plus,
something. Maybe
but they had like this
red and white suit or blue.
Yeah, I think it's IK Plus.
Yeah, and I played that, and I played this digging game where you just had to dig tunnels through Earth. They adapted that concept again in newer games as well. I mean, Minecraft and stuff probably as well.
Did you actually play the Lemmings?
Lemmings, I played, on PC and Amiga. Definitely played that a lot, actually, now that I remember. Dungeon Keeper. But that was in the 2000s, I think, 2001, 2002 or something when it came out.
Did you mention Final Fantasy VII?
Final Fantasy VII was one of my favorites, but I didn't mention those because they weren't early childhood, but I guess that was still my teenage years and childhood.
I think Final Fantasy VII was released in 1998.
1998? Oh yeah, that counts.
Which was a big year for me personally, also regarding games. That was the year I actually went to the first class in elementary school.
Okay.
And that was also the year one of my favorite games was released, Spyro the Dragon, for PlayStation 1.
I never played that, sadly.
I'm a huge fan of platform games actually, like still to this day. Like Crash Bandicoot.
Never played that.
Medieval.
Never played that.
But I think you know that one. Like
yeah, I know them all. But...
Sir Daniel Fosque, like the Skeleton Warrior, the Knight.
And I think they want to redo all of them, right? Like they did with Crash Bandicoot.
There's gonna be a Medieval remaster for the PlayStation 4 in 2018, next year. Looking forward to that, and that would actually be the point where I actually need to have a PS4 at some point. Yeah, because
for me it was no question about getting a PS4 when I heard that they're gonna remake Final Fantasy VII next year or 2019 maybe. I don't know when it will come out, but they will do it.
Yeah, like I haven't really played that myself, so I don't have like a strong connection to that stuff. But I start getting an interest in the Final Fantasy stuff, and the music is great. The music of Final Fantasy is awesome.
Yeah, it's really cool. Also Final Fantasy VIII, a little bit later, one of my favorites. But games from my early childhood, like we could also talk board games, I guess. Mensch, ärger dich nicht. Yep. What was it called in English?
It was called Ludo, I think, in British English, and Parcheesi. In American English.
Yeah. And it was an original German board game.
Richtig.
Right, where you had to kick out the other players. You could play with 4 people, or sometimes I think they released a version where you could play with more than 4 people or 5, 6, 8, maybe even. Really cool. The sky, you can't sadly see it at the moment, but we might be driving towards it this sunset. Hope our faces are not too dark at the moment, because that camera is not low light. I mean, not very good in low light.
Very sensitive.
Very sensitive, yeah. But yeah, those games were great. But other board games that I played as a kid, Monopoly, obviously.
Monopoly, awesome game. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that was cool.
What else? I had the Game Boy, like the first one, the really big gray one.
With Pokemon, yeah, I had Pokemon. Had that too. DuckTales I had on that. I had Vampire Kid,
Jungle Book.
Jungle Book I had as well. Aladdin I had.
Aladdin, yeah. You remember like
Aladdin for Super Nintendo was great, or for PC even.
Yeah.
They released it. That was good.
What's this like famous game? Paperboy?
Paperboy, where you had the bike and then had to put newspapers to the homes there.
I think it was released for the Amiga first, and then it also was like re-released for the Game Boy.
I don't think I played that, but I know it for sure.
It's really freaking hard.
It's hard.
Let me tell you.
Okay.
Well, yeah.
We're driving through a muddy side road.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, as you do when you don't know where you're going. Because I basically just drove. I never, like I noticed a couple of times where I was and I was like, oh, okay. And then I changed the direction, but that's about it. We're just driving. It's always fun. I never usually do that, only for these videos here, so don't blame me for where we are. I have no idea myself.
Wie so ein Wackeldackel.
Yeah, we're like those wackel sausage dogs.
Wackeldackle.
Wackeldackles. Woo woo woo! Wackeldackle. Yeah. Okay. What else? Games. Your favorite games? I mean, we mentioned like the board games.
The board games, yeah. Mensch, ärger dich nicht, definitely. Monopoly, Spiel des Lebens.
Never played that. Game of Life, no?
Oh, we should do that at some point.
Is it good?
Cool. It is, yeah, it's fun.
And what was the other one where you had to lose your money?
Yeah.
I mean, Mad, the board game, Mad, that was really cool. I played that as well. My older brother bought it, I think, from the Mad magazine, the game. But yeah, the other one, there was a game where you had to lose all your money, but I never played that. I just remember that.
Back then, I also loved to play Tomb Raider 4, The Last Revelation, which came out in 1999.
Never played that.
Although I really didn't make it far into the game. And that was like a very typical thing for me personally. I don't know how it is about you, but as far as I can remember, I really didn't finish games back then. I just rather played them for a certain period of time and then I switched to the next one.
That's what I do today sometimes. Well, back then I tried to finish the games, like Super Mario 64 I finished Zelda and Zelda Ocarina of Time and stuff like that.
Super Mario Land 2.
Yeah.
6 golden coins.
That was amazing.
That is awesome. Really cool. One of the best games for the Game Boy, definitely.
I agree. I have to agree with you on that.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, so many. again. So many games.
Oh,
Soul Reaver. Yeah.
Soul Reaver. Yeah, very cool actually.
I played that for the PC only though.
Didn't really play that myself for too long, I don't think, but that would be something that I'd still be interested in, I guess. I remember playing, I think it was the first Duke Nukem game for the PlayStation 1, which wasn't suitable for children at all.
No.
It still isn't, but it was really...
I remember playing the first Wolfenstein, like the illegal version that my brother had, I think back in the day. Like because back in the day, you cracked games, downloaded games, like it wasn't illegal or anything. At least no one did anything about it.
No one cared.
And so everyone had it. I remember people just swapped games in school and stuff that they burned on the CD themselves and stuff like that. No one cared.
Yeah.
Or music, same thing. But yeah, I definitely had a lot of games because of that I wouldn't have had otherwise.
I also enjoyed playing German game actually in the really beautiful sky.
The German game?
Which
you can't see because it's blurry.
Yeah.
Great.
Don't know if you know the Anno games.
Oh, Anno was fun, yeah, I loved Anno.
Cool. Anno 1602 I think was the first one. And I also enjoyed Moorhuhn.
Yeah, Moorhuhn, this game where you basically had to shoot a 2D chicken or something that were hiding and coming out afterwards. It was stupid. But I get the appeal. Like it's easy, it's fun, it's quick.
Do you know Elf Bowling?
No.
Elves in Paradise? That's like a really stupid game. It's like pretty much you're on a ship actually, and you're Santa, and you have to beat your evil brother. What was its name? His name, I can't remember. And you have to like play bowling with elves.
Okay, no. Never played that. I think we talked quite a bit about games now. I mean, we could also say that we played tag and stuff like that, but that's just something everyone did at some point, or hide and seek.
Hide and seek, yeah.
When I was a teenager, we played soft air in my garden.
Oh yeah, and with Wasserpistolen.
Water pistols, like bazookas. Not bazookas, super soakers.
Yeah.
That was the brand, I think. But we said, hast du eine Super Soaker? Geil, awesome.
Oh. Do you remember Beyblades?
And yeah, but I never played with Beyblade, to be honest. I know it though.
Yeah.
I did play the Pokemon trading game cards.
Yeah, me too. Oh, that was really big in elementary school.
Or Pogs. You remember Pogs? Pogs are these little round chips with pictures of like famous shows. I think we had some with Rugrats and Red and Stimpy and all of those kind of shows that were running back in the day. And then you had like a metal version of those. You stack them up basically, build a tower, and then you have to throw the tower down with the Pog, with the hard one. And I think then all the ones that were falling down you had to swap, or like I think you had to make the tower of your friend fall down or something like. I don't remember how it worked exactly. But yeah, we played that for sure. So there were games like that as well. If people now say, "Oh, you only talk about video games,"
something I also like still enjoy playing to this day, because that's like kind of a hobby. Something I usually play with my grandparents is Romy.
Romy?
I don't know what's in English actually.
Romy, maybe? I don't know.
Romy, yeah.
What is it? A card game?
It's a card game, yeah.
I mean, I heard of it obviously, but I never played it.
It's really
Mau.
Mau, definitely. Yeah.
It's like a very easy card game. I can link those games in the video description if I think of it. If I forget, let me know, and then I'll re-link it.
There's a Uno. Uno's very cool.
Or Taboo.
Yeah.
What else? Trivial Pursuit. Trivial Pursuit.
Trivial Pursuit.
Something like that, you know.
I remember that my granddad. He actually like made like a little wooden kind of game at some point.
Like a marble game.
Yeah, like a now that I think about it. But
my dad made that too, actually.
It was really cool.
Like a little, like what my dad did, he had nails and put them in just a wooden board and made like a marble parkour course, whatever. And then you had to put the marble in on the top, and then you just saw it fall. Because my dad, obviously old school, likes very physical toys like that. he liked these wooden puzzle games and stuff. I once in my life tried to solve a Rubik's Cube, but never got past the white side. I don't think I'm not like when it comes to math and logic and stuff like that. It's not for me most of the time, sadly. I have to admit. But yeah.
Do you know this series Freddy Fish?
No. What's that?
It was like a really strange game of sorts, but like you have to solve like little riddles. You were like underwater, like as a little fish, and you had to like talk to people, like pretty much like an RPG game, an early one.
Okay.
Like in 3D and very colorful, like for children, obviously. Freddy Fish und das fliegende Flaschenfahrrad?
Das fliegende Fleisch.
Das fliegende Fleisch.
What was it about?
I can't remember. I know that I liked it and that I've played it a lot, but...
oh, so it's a computer game?
Yeah.
Okay.
PC game.
Okay, I think the video must now be over 30 minutes long for sure.
Yep.
What are the last points that we have on the list? Maybe we can just list them and then make another part for this.
Children birthdays.
Yeah, what we did during, well, kids' birthdays back in the day, how they progressed, basically.
Yeah. Holidays,
all the holidays, how we spent them, Christmas and Easter and stuff like that.
Favorite foods, like dishes and drinks.
Yeah, dishes and drinks that we favorited as kids.
Favorite music.
The favorite music, and yeah, I think then toys, like real life toys, basically, not what we just talked about with games, but toys.
And a pretty typical German thing, Hörspiele.
Audio plays, our favorite audio plays from back in the day, because that is a pretty popular thing in Germany as well. But yeah, if you enjoyed this episode, you know what to do. Leave a like, check out Dave's channel as well, VlogDave. Subscribe to both our channels if you enjoyed the video. And of course, check out the other Chaos Thoughts videos that I did already. Link in the video description. And well, should be here somewhere as well in a second or now. And apart from that, well, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to get Germanized. Goodbye and auf Wiedersehen.